Hey everyone, I hope you're doing wonderful. I'm Jacob, and in today's video, I'm going to share the dividend income that I received for July in 2024. Going to do an overview of the holdings here in my portfolio, see what's performed well, not so well over the past month. Really just to give you complete transparency into what it's like investing in a investment portfolio, in hopes that it will inspire you to do the same if you haven't started already, because I truly do believe that getting started on your investing journey is super important, especially at a younger age, because you can truly live the life that you deserve if you play your cards right. So with that said, let's check out the portfolio here in M1 Finance, which is where I have my investment portfolio. The current value is just over $38,000. Total dividends earned so far is about $3,100. And when you add up the dividends earned plus the capital gains, which is the appreciation of the stock price itself, that total comes to about $10,600, which equates to a money-weighted rate of return of about 79%. And over the past month or so, it's been a really rocky month in July, especially towards the end of July, early August. We had a couple days where the stock market just got absolutely annihilated. And this graph pretty much shows it all right here. Started out pretty nice in early to mid-July. Then the market pretty much was level. It went down a little bit, went back up. But then as you can see here in early August, we had a massive dip. And then over the past few days, it looks like the market has been able to pick back up a little bit. But it's a very interesting time in the world right now, especially in the United States, where we have the current presidential race happening. So over the next 4 to 5 months, I do expect things to be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how the markets are going to react to everything. But at the end of the day, if you're invested for the long term, it really shouldn't matter too much. And so just looking at some of the sectors here that I have allocated in my portfolio, just a real quick glimpse, we can see that technology took the brunt of the beatdown so far, down almost 11% over the past month. Now, if we just click into here, we can see that everything is red. Apple, which I'll admit is one of my favorite companies all time, a lot of ETFs actually have Apple as their primary holding. So a very popular stock for many investors, many investment firms, but they were down over 6%. You look at something like Broadcom, down almost 17%, and Tesla, which I don't hold very much of, but nonetheless, I do have it, and that saw over a 21% decrease. So those are very big numbers. I honestly don't remember stocks crashing this bad really since COVID happened, which is a very good reason why you don't want to focus all of your investments into one particular company or even one particular sector. You really want to have companies that don't move alike. So for example, if all of my portfolio was invested into technology, I would be feeling the pain right now, like pretty hardcore. I would be feeling the pain. But if you invest in other types of companies, again, companies that don't move alike, well, that's when you see that things start to balance each other out. So yeah, tech was down pretty big, but if we look at some of the other sectors, like real estate, for example, it's in the green pretty substantially. Companies like Realty Income Corp, Stag Industrial, Vici Properties, all of those are up over 10%. So like I said before, it just helps level things out. And over the long term, you just hope that all of these companies are resilient and show long-term growth. But if you look at short spurts, like periods of 1 month, 1 year, maybe even a couple years, it's not really going to tell the full story of the company. So just something to keep in mind and in your perspective. But with that, let's hop into the dividends and see what we actually got paid out this month. All right, so we started the month off with $8.05 from Genuine Parts Company. This is really just an industrial company that sells a lot of automotive parts. Company that I've had for a few years now, and I've been quite pleased with the results from both a dividend and a capital gains perspective. So I'm definitely going to hold this one and probably add more to it here in the near future. Next is Nike, and they paid out 96 cents. So I don't have too much of Nike. It's more of a low dividend yielding company, but they do tend to have higher growth potential. At least that's what the past has shown. So pretty much what I expected, a lower dividend payout. Then we go into Coca-Cola. They paid $3.95. Vanguard's VTI ETF paid out $13.62. And this is kind of my safe haven, so to speak. I do invest in a handful of individual companies, but I also do have some ETFs in this portfolio. But generally, when I don't really want to invest in an individual company, I'll just put my money into this ETF, and it generally follows the overall market pretty closely. So there's not going to be too much deviation from the S&P 500. But overall, I've been pretty pleased with this ETF myself. Next up, we have Vici Properties. They paid out $10.11. Then DTE Energy paid out $2.91. Stag Industrial, this is a real estate investment trust. They pay out monthly, and they paid out $2.67. Then we have a very similar company, Realty Income Corp. I just showed you guys they had a massive month from a capital gains perspective, but this month they paid out $6.26 in dividends. Then we go into an ETF. Once again, this is SPHD. $6.80 is what I got from them. Then we go to Cisco Corp. This is the food distribution company. $4.40 is what I got from them. And then to round everything off for this month, we got $6.39 from the largest bank in the US, and that's JP Morgan Chase. So not a ton of payments. Usually the first month of any new quarter, for me anyway, they have the lowest dividend payouts. But when we add everything up, the total payout for this month comes to $66.12. So here I put this in my dividend tracking spreadsheet here in Google Drive. By the way, if you do want a copy of this spreadsheet, I'll put a link in the description. All you have to do is click on that link. Then you can go to File and you can select Make a Copy. You can save it in your own Google Drive, and then you can input your own personal dividend payouts that you get each month. So just kind of a cool tracker that I like to have here. And one thing else that I really like to do here is I like to project my annual wage over the last 3 months of my dividend payouts. And then I break it down by how much you would be earning in different time frames. So like, for example, here I have my daily wage. If I was just to receive dividend payments, I would be making $2.70 every single day. Breaking it down hourly, it would be about 11 cents, and that's all 24 hours of the day. So whether you're awake, whether you're sleeping, 11 cents. And then over a 40-hour work week, so your standard 9 to 5 job, it would be about 47 cents per hour. So you can definitely look at this and say it's not anything crazy. And yeah, I would probably agree with you. Right now, it's not. But you know what? As an investor, you have to start somewhere. There's some people who haven't started yet, and there's a lot of people who have, and they're way further than I am. And that's really awesome to see. But most of the income from an investment portfolio will come over a long period of time, and it's going to take a few things to make that happen. Number one, you're going to have to invest frequently. So if you can invest a set amount every single month, you're going to be on a really good track to get started. Number two, you want to take any dividend income that you earn and you want to put that back into your portfolio, and that'll really help you get the compounding effect. You're essentially earning interest on interest. And then the third thing is you want to choose generally good companies. And I know it's not always easy to select companies. You really have to do your due diligence, do your research before investing in a company. But investing in those that are able to increase their dividend year after year, that's going to add to the compounding effect as well. So if you can do those things over a long period of time, you're going to really set yourself up good. And before we head out here, I actually did want to share a new feature that I just discovered in M1 Finance, which is the investment platform that I personally use. And I've been waiting for this one for a very long time now, and I'm so excited that they finally released it. And essentially, it's just what I put here on this spreadsheet, but they have it in M1 Finance in that they track your dividend payouts over a monthly time frame. So if you go to M1 Finance here, click on holdings and then click on dividend income, you can actually see a graph of all the dividend payouts that you had over the year. So if I hover over July, for example, you can see that $66.12 is showing up. And it's pretty cool in that it shows you the holdings that have paid out the most dividends in that particular month. And going forward, it actually does break down not only how many dividends you've been paid, but it also shows the value that's pending. So I believe that's companies that are past their ex-dividend date and also the estimated payments. So finally, I'm excited that this feature is here. It's probably just me. I'm a nerd. I love dividends. I love tracking them. And I'm still going to do it on my spreadsheet, but it's just cool that M1 Finance has this interface. So just wanted to let you guys know in case you do use M1 Finance or are planning to use it. Nice little feature there. But that is going to wrap up the video. Thank you all so much for taking the time to check it out. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So until next time, take it easy.